move further uh, towards the plenary session number 14, and let me take the privilege to invite on the screen Dr. Saidna Zulfikar bin Tahir sir, Director of the Research and the Community Service Institution, Universitas Ekra Bureau, Indonesia. Sir is the Director of the Research and the Community Service Institution at the Universitas Ekra Bureau.
Yes,
Graduated from the
yes, I'm here.
graduated
I'm in.
welcome, sir. Welcome. He graduated from Al Azhar University of Cairo in Arabic Languages and Linguistics, and he has presented various papers in various seminars, webinars, and conferences, and has so many books to his credit. So, welcome here, sir, and we are blessed to have you here, sir. Welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Because I just break my fasting today, and
There is an announcement for everybody that we are running at least, approximately 1.5 hour behind from the schedule. So it's a humble request to you all to please keep a watch on time and make your presentation a little shorter. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Saidna Zulfikar bin Tahir. I am Director of Research and Community Service at the University of Ikraburu, and today I'd like to share a little bit about my research about developing the local Indonesian local languages material in multilingual teaching and learning. Okay, I'd like to present a little bit about my research about developing Indonesian local language learning material in a multilingual teaching model. Well, as we know that every country has more than two languages, and in India has many languages, about 90,500 languages and dialect in India, and also in Indonesia also has many languages. So this is those languages, many languages threatened to be extinction, and some of local languages in our country already disappear or dead, what we call by language death. As a background of my study here, I just highlight that many languages, or local languages in Indonesia, about 742 languages, and some researchers also said that there are 792 languages, local languages in Indonesia. But I just have take 742 of Indonesian local languages. So in our country, in Indonesia, every province or every location or every area has many languages. And also in my country here in Maluku is the one of the east province in Indonesia. So the time, of course, between in India and my village here, about difference 3 hours. We have 3 hours difference. So in my province here, we have about 71 local languages in Maluku. And you know that more than Indonesian local languages, then there are 71 of Indonesian local languages already extinction, and 225, more than 225 of local languages in Indonesia are threatened to be extinction. It is very a pity situation that we have to realize that those languages as an asset of the national uh, already disappear. So we have, as a generation, we have to preserve our local languages to avoid them from the extinction or from the death of the local languages. So in my country here, in my province, there are 71 local languages, and 11 of them already extinction. Or I mean that there are 11 local languages in Maluku is dead. So this is a very pity things that we have to pay our attention to preserve and to conserve our local languages from the extinction. And one thing that we have to do is to develop it in teaching and learning process so we can avoid the local languages from the extinction. Well, and then how to develop. In my research, so I try to design and to develop the local languages in a multilingual teaching and learning model. So I think that is the one solution that could prevent or to avoid our local languages from the death. So we try to develop the local languages in a multilingual teaching, such it material in local language in multilingual teaching model. So when we try to develop the multilingual material, so we have to pay full, or we have to identify the institution. Institution, is there any institution or constitution in our country that regulated about the local languages, teaching or preserving the local languages? While in Indonesia, of course, there are Indonesian constitutions that already regulated about the local languages teaching, and also it's suggested by the government regulation, and also there is a local government regulation about how to preserve and conserve the local languages from extinction, and how to teach the local languages as local content in the school. So this regulation or the government policy is the basic to develop the multilingual teaching. So, and then we have to identify the previous related study. So there are many experts already did a research about the multilingual teaching and learning, and I just come into this Google Meet, and I found one of the presenters just now present about the multilingual in the India. So of course, many experts, many researchers already discussed or studied about multilingual. And here I highlight a little about some experts who uh, studied in depth about multilingual. There are Cruz Pereira, and also in India, you know that there is Singhs and also Thiagarajan who studied in depth study about multilingual, and also Malone. Uh, and also there are many experts, of course, studied about multilingual teaching and learning in China, and also in Japan and other countries in Germany. Also talk about multilingual teaching and learning. Unfortunately, most of the previous study still focus on uh, social sociologic, or still focus on sociolinguistic. They just focus on, for example, or for instance, they just focus or discuss about code mixing and code switching, and also the dialect. and the role of local language or the role of multilingual teaching, but they didn't try to develop how to develop the material or the teaching and learning method or strategy to prevent the local languages from the extinction. So here, from those previous study, we try to design and to develop the multilingual teaching and learning by applying or employing local languages here. So here, of course, we have to conduct research and development. So one of the this method is, of course, effective to design and to develop. While in my study, I applied AD model. AD that stand for analysis, design, develop, implementation, and then evaluation. You can apply it or you can employ the other model of R&D, research and development. You can use perhaps Burke and Galt model, or perhaps you can use the what 4D model and etc. But in my study, I just use AD model because this is also, this is one of the easy model to apply in research and development. Of course, in conducting research and development using AD, the first thing we have to do is to do need analysis and situational analysis. Even in our teaching and learning, so I always suggest how to conduct need and situational analysis before teaching our students in the classroom. So this is the important thing, or what I just call by need-based learning. Need-based learning here, it means that the teacher conduct a need and situational analysis to know our students' background, our student level, and our student experience before we teach them, so we can understand and aware of our student diversity of their level, so we can teach them teach them fairly based on their level, based on their need, and based on their situation. And in conducting research and development, also we have to conduct need analysis and situational analysis to see this our student need, the teacher need, and the school need, and also the situation in the school and the situation of the students, and in the situation also in the classroom, so we can decide through the analysis. So through the analysis, perhaps we can gain the data from the questionnaire, from the interview, and also the observation. So we analyze them, and then we can we can analyze them using SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis here is we try to know the strengths, the weakness, and opportunity, and also the threat of the program that we will design. Or we can use IPA, or important performance analysis. This is the IPA. Here we can use SPSS program to see the important and performance, so we can decide what to do, what we have to do, and what we have to increase, or we have to reduce from the data that we gain to design our program. And then we design, of course, and develop, then implementation. Here in AD model, the last things is evaluation, but in my study, I just conduct it till the implementation of the program. So here I will present a little about the model of multilingual learning model. So based on my study, I found some model based on the school. Here the first things is three language program. It is model proposed by Malone. So this is this is the all things model. Three language program is the old program, or is the old model proposed by Malone, and he is very influenced by Bloomfield. Bloomfield, who stated that the bilingualism or multilingualism persons is who have the same or the equal skill in each languages. For instance, if you can speak India and you can speak English, so you have the same level in English and also in Indian language. But I disagree with Bloomfield and also Malone model here, because I the what because there is no one perfect. There is no one is perfect. Even you are, for instance, you are in India. Perhaps you have a skill only in writing or in listening, but you have a little skill in speaking or in other skills. Even in English, no one is perfect in four language skill. Perhaps one can one can perfect in speaking, but he have a lack in writing and listening and other skill. So I disagree, and I agree with what stated by Chenos and also by Yang from Japan, that multilingual person is not the person who have the same or the equal ability and skill in every languages. So when we use the Bloomfield theory, so this is mean Bloomfield effect the Malone model here. So if we want to study a language, we have to be competence in one language, and then we move into other languages, into other language for the second language, and then after we master the second language, then we move into the three languages. So because this is influenced by the Bloomfield, so the multilingual person must have the equal competence in each language. So I disagree, and then when I conduct my study in pesantren school here, or boarding school, Islamic boarding school here, the students, when they come to the boarding school, they have a skill in English and also in Arabic, a little bit in Arabic. So when the first time they learn English and Arabic in the boarding school, they will try to the teaching process in the in boarding school use simultaneous sequential model. I call it by simultaneous sequential model. It means that when teacher teach those languages, Arabic, English, and Indonesia, they teach those three languages in simultaneous. They teach in one time. So they teach English using Arabic and also using Indonesian language. Yeah. And then when they have, and then they will in the next level, they will focus in perhaps in two languages, and in the third level, they will focus on languages. So the Malone model here create one person from monolingual to become multilingual. So Malone model start from monolingual to create one person be a multilingualism. But here in Pesantren school, Pesantren or Islamic boarding school, they created a person from multilingual to become monolingual. So here also I distinguish between multilingual and monomultilingual. Multilingual, it means that the person can speak more than two or more than three languages in one situation or in one occasion. For instance, when I got meeting in many person from India, from Arabic, from English, so when we meet in one room, we can use many languages. When Arabic speak in a meeting in Arabic, so we can speak in Arabic, and when we switch into English, one person speak in English, we switch into English, and also from perhaps in India. So that's I call by multilingualism. So multilingualism, a person who can speak more than three languages in one situation or one occasion. While monomultilingual person who has the ability to speak more than three languages, but in the different situation. For instance, one person who can speak more than five languages, India, English, Arabic, French, perhaps French, but he used French when he meet people from France. He used English when he meet one from England or from America. He can speak India when he meet one from India. So it is called by monomultilingualism. So I distinguish between multilingualism and monomultilingualism. So monomultilingual who have more than three languages but in a separate situation, while multilingualism, a person who have the ability to speak more than three languages in one occasion or one situation. So this is the model that I found in Santren school or Islamic boarding school. While in another school, I find that here I find another model called by embedded multilingualism, that in that school uh, the teacher will teach the more than three languages in through embedded one to each other. So here this is the model. For instance, when the student will learn English language, it's called by target language, and also it's called by foreign language, and also local languages, because many of students didn't know or they cannot speak in their local languages. So I treat the local languages also as a foreign language, because the students in this school cannot speak their own local language. So I see their local language as a foreign language. So this is target language, local language as a foreign language. So when you can use local language is a target language or English is a target language, and you can and use the dominant language. In this school, the dominant language is Indonesian language, so this is used as a language in teaching and learning. But they have a proportion. So dominant language proportion is 13%, and also local language is 30%, while the target language is 40%. When we like to use local language as a target language, of course, the local language portion is 14%. So this is the model of multilingual teaching and learning that I find in my study, and then compare between the old model proposed by Malone. Then in my study also I found the multilingual material, how to design multilingual material. So here, multilingual learning material, of course, the material is not about the content or the what we would like to teach, but Material here, everything that we use to teach in our class is called by material, such as syllabus, lesson plan, course book, teacher guidebook, or perhaps media, and also perhaps dictionary. It's a material. So material is, it doesn't mean that what we will teach material that we will teach our student, not, but all that we use to teach in our class is called by material. So here, because based on my need analysis and situational analysis that I conducted using interview and also questionnaire and observation, I found that students would like to increase or enhance their spoken language in multilingual. Most of them need the spoken language or speaking. So I then design the lesson plan, syllabus, and also the course book. Here in syllabus, of course, to communicate in a multilingual in 3 languages, and then lesson plan. It is the content of lesson plan, of course, the basic competence, uh, and the material is about daily conversation in school environment or the students' experience. And then the course book also, the course book, uh, of course, using the course book, the procedure of writing the course book by Notion and McAllister. So the genre of the course book is a dialogue, interview, and role play, and also some tasks here. And then strategy is, of course, immersion, submersion, and pull out approach, because this is the combination of some of bilingual method. So this is combination. And then the content about, of course, the interesting and also formal and non-formal languages, and also about culture background. And then the activities of coursebook, of course, consists of opening, listening, production, dialogue, and peer practicing. And then uh, this is the design of multilingual material that I designed. So, of course, the material that I design from the syllabus and also lesson plan and course book here, then I gave them to the expert to validate the design of a multilingual material such as syllabus, lesson plan, and course book. And then the expert give some suggestion to change from the syllabus and also lesson plan. And also here in my PowerPoint, my slide, I just put here about the expert judgment, expert comment in the course book. It is start, so the course book, of course, consists of cover of the book, cover of the course book. So there is some revision from the expert, and until now it is still many revision. So this is only, I just put 2 of the cover, but actually this is already 4 times revision, 4-time revision. And then end paper, so with end paper on the page, so there is a suggestion from the expert to revise the course book of the multilingual. And then also here, uh, yeah, acknowledgement 10 unit. So 10 unit, this is consists of 10 units, but after revision, this course book consists of 12 units. 12 units. Today is 12 units. This course book have 12 units. And this is the comment from the what expert to validate, to revise my design, and developing the multilingual material. And then what have been designed and developed, of course, in AD model implementation. Here we have to implement what we designed and developed using, perhaps using experimental design, or perhaps we use classroom action research. But in my study I use experimental design to conduct a small field testing, and then medium field test, and then the large field test. So 3 times to testing the material that have been designed and developed. So in the field test, in the small test, so there is an increasement of the students to in speaking the multilingual from the, so we can see the different score between the pre-test and post-test. Also we can see the students components of speaking skill, that accuracy, students accuracy, there is increasing in their accuracy, fluency, and also comprehensibility. While this is the very things increase is comprehensibility. And then some revision I conducted to revise the material that designed and developed, some revision, and in the task of the book, of the course book. And then uh, I conduct a medium field testing. In a small field test, I only use one school to conduct my uh, small field test, consists of 13 students. While for my medium field test, I use two schools. I use two schools to conduct my medium field testing. So also in both two school also show the increasing of the students level in accuracy, fluency, and comprehensibility after treatment using the multilingual teaching material. And in the large field testing, I use 3 schools to as a location of my study to conduct large field testing using also the experimental design in 3 schools. And then we can see also there is an improvement of students speaking skill and its component of speaking skill, such as accuracy, fluency, comprehensibility. And then uh, also I conduct a testing to see the accessibility and applicability of the material that been developed. So most students and teacher agree that the accessibility and applicability of the material that developed is very good. So uh, so then I also give to the expert to evaluate or to judge what I have done in my research. Also, after conducting a small, a medium, and large field test of my study, I gave them to the expert to validate, and what the result of expert validation also show the acceptability of the material is very good, and also applicability of the program is good, very good. So this is the what I conducted in my study. So based on my study, I gave some solutions that need, and situational analysis is important thing to conduct uh, before conducting teaching and learning, and also before conducting research and development. So I just in another of my research about need based study, so that I suggested for the teacher to conduct a small need analysis and situational analysis to see the student background, to see the student's culture, religion. So the teacher can deliver the material or can conduct teaching and learning process better. So it is it is appropriate to what suggested by Stephen creation I+1. So I+1, we can know the previous experience, the previous knowledge of our students, so we can give what they need or what we can teach the material based on our student level. And then design and develop learning material. So I suggested for the teacher, for the school, and also for further researcher to conduct research and development in their study, because many study just focus on sociolinguistics, dialect, and also the role of local language, the role of multilingual, and etc. So we stop to discuss about the things that are already done, but we have to find a solution that we can give solution to the phenomena that occurred in our society. The students and
Tahir, sorry to interrupt you. Would you please conclude your lecture because
yeah,
um,
this is okay. Okay, thank you, sir. This is my conclusion here. And design, develop learning material, and then implementation and evaluate. So what we conduct, so we have to implement it well based on what we have planned before, what we design, and then we evaluate. Evaluate is difference between analysis. So evaluate, we start from what we plan until the last things that we have conducted. And for then what I did here, could avoiding local languages from the extinction. So the local government here suggests me to conduct a big what research, but unfortunately this pandemic situation, COVID-19 situation, so we stopped to implement it in a large school in the Maluku. So perhaps after the COVID-19, we will start to implement in all schools in this province. I think that's all my material today. Thank you very much. Thank you. Back to moderator, please.
thank you so much, Dr. Saidina Zulfikar bin Tahir sir, for such a wonderful presentation, and how beautifully you presented your thoughts and your experience and your valuable words. I am sure that whosoever is listening, everybody who's there in the conference will definitely get benefited with your words of
Okay,
wisdom.
thank you, sir. Okay.